So it being 6:07 or something like that, I'm calling to order this meeting of the John Germain Memorial Library Board of Trustees. Last meeting of the summer. Got a lot of things we have to vote on today, so we have to really focus because there's a lot of important stuff. Okay? Period for public expression. Okay, if anybody's out there, hello. Let's take a look at the minutes from July 16th. They look okay to me. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So move.
I'll second.
So the minutes have been accepted and approved.
We to vote on it.
Let's, oh, well, good idea. Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so now the minutes are approved. Friends?
So the Friends have their September, make a friend, bring a friend, lunch at SEM. We've talked about this before, so I won't, belabor the point. But the next thing coming up for the Friends is, as you know, they, donated the money so we could have this lovely herb garden that people can take herbs from. And they're going to have a ribbon cutting for that on Thursday, the 28th at 3 p.m. and all of the Lieber children will be here. So, we're very excited about that. So they'll be like, I'll get some sparkling cider and some,
These are Ann's
cookies or
children?
something.
Yeah.
Ann's children, yeah. And and I got the giant scissors from System, which come with a warning that they're very sharp. So, I'll go down to the variety store and get some ribbons so we can use those very large.
What
scissors.
happens?
That time again? The time and place again?
3 p.m. here
Here.
on the 28th.
What happens to that in the winter?
It's on wheels.
Was it
Roll that
on
baby
the
right
side?
in.
It moves over to that.
Yeah.
the trash.
By the way, I saw that the other day. We can talk about that later.
We can talk about that later. Sure.
Exciting.
It is exciting. I have to replace the bracket on it. The bracket's wonky, so I said, send me a new bracket, and they did.
It's aggressive.
Yes, so that's it from the Friends. They
Okay.
start their meetings up again in September.
So now in Megan's absence, are you going to handle the treasurer's report?
Right,
Great, well, go to it.
so, the treasurer's report. So. Statement of financial position, if you look at the numbers, total assets, we're at, 5.8 million. Compared to July of 2024, where we were at 6, and change, almost 6.2. But we've spent a lot of money on HVAC stuff, so that's to be expected. She did make mention of 2 donations that we received. We received a donation of stock from our scholarship donor, Robert Hook, for the Pathways to Success Scholarship. And so that came in and we sold it and, we have that money now. And then also we received, a check from the estate of Jean Held in the amount of $250,000. Which we did not cash in July, so, we're letting you know the check is in hand. It's gonna be cashed this week. And then we will, move that money. So thank you to both of these donors for their generous gifts. The mortgage, our remaining mortgage is about $3.6 million. Once again, here at every month, it matures, in December of 2029. And has a fixed rate of 4.75%. Our expenditures, in terms of financial activity, and then also our budget versus year to date, look crazy. It looks crazy basically because of the HVAC budget. We wrote that big check for the units. And so it just skews all of the numbers. But we are where we should be in terms of operating and spending on operating. bills and applied payments are what they are, bill payment list is what it is, payroll is payroll. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I was just curious, with regard to the health gift, for example, just as an example. How and in what way do we acknowledge a gift like that? I mean, presumably.
Send her a thank you card, yeah.
No, thank you. I mean.
To the
obviously.
family.
Yeah, I mean,
There
I'm
is
saying,
not.
I'm
There is
assuming
not.
that something goes to the family and. Why not? I
There's
mean,
no
may I suggest that we ought to begin to develop that? And, you know, Mike,
So generally speaking,
Yeah.
we will send an acknowledgement to the family.
Yeah.
But Gene Health was Gene Health. There's not somebody for us to,
Should we have a public announcement then, or
that's
just
what
let?
I was gonna
I
get
mean,
to.
we
Is there
had-
any reason not to do a public announcement?
So-
I think it's good for everybody involved. It's certainly not disrespectful to the donor
yeah.
and or the donor's memory, and it would be good for the library. I mean, and to let the library, let people know that the library appreciates these things. And again, to Michael's point he's made so often, the more we can talk about people
Mhm.
making gifts to the library, here's a great opportunity.
So I've been working on, apropos of our conversation at the last board meeting. I've been working on like a little something for the newsletter, because this is the budget newsletter and we're asking people to support the budget and, you know, raise taxes. We don't always use that as the one to also say, and oh, by the way, please consider making a large gift when you pass away, or
Mhm.
thank you, Gene Health, for giving us $250,000, because it just sort of sends the wrong message.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
I go for the budget.
So we can certainly do that in the winter newsletter. My plan is to begin in the winter newsletter, thanking people who make donations, like thank you for the following donations which came in, you know, this season and listing. And then also, you know, when they're legacy gifts, pointing that out as well. But we're looking, I'm creating a standard sort of legacy ad, if you will, or like notice that goes in the newsletter every month so that people know that that is there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
What's this?
This is somebody from the public.
Oh,
Yeah, see, that's the one. Alright.
okay, well, that's great, and I'm starting to work now on the appeal letter.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I'm interested in us thinking about is how we deal with the whole major gifts piece of promotion of the library, you know, like we have the appeal, the Friends have their own campaign. The appeal is, I guess, there's a history to that as being the director, the library directly as opposed to the Friends.
Yes.
And just exactly how we kind of define or talk about that kind of fundraising, you know, what the kind of content of the letter should be. And because I think we should be looking for every opportunity to try to identify you know, potential donors. So the other thing I was gonna ask about the way we're gonna be reporting expenses between now and the end of the fiscal year. It is obviously very confusing because of this enormous amount of money we're spending. I think that from one point of view, the one thing I really liked that Megan did here was she pointed out that our routine expenses in July were actually quite normal at 289, and that's fine, you know, and that makes us all, I think, take a breath, you know.
Mhm.
But what I'm wondering about is whether, in calculating year-to-date versus budget, which is all just kind of formulas anyway, maybe in that category, it would be healthy to go ahead and pull out the capital expenditures, so we see what we're doing year-to-date versus budget on routine expenditures. I mean,
Like eliminate that line.
Or just make it a separate kind of category for itself.
well, obviously, the part of the issue is one of bookkeeping. I mean, right now, we're showing all of the expenses in our. Right, in our reporting,
Mhm.
so we can't pull out a bunch of expenses. In order to make this more user-friendly, you know what I'm saying? In other,
Well, I don't know that it's,
So it's sort of. I mean, when there's a will, there's a way. It's. So when we run the reports from QuickBooks, right? We're not supposed to run them, export them to Excel, remove the information, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
know,
then
that's it.
I'm messing with the reports,
Yeah.
so. Basically, there's potentially a way to pull out that section, but it's gonna pull out more information than you want it to pull out, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. And so, you know, we sort of have to think of it as like, this is temporary. And not that members of the public don't spend all of their free time looking at the library's financial
Right.
reports when they're posted.
Yeah.
You know, the Friday before the
Yeah.
board meeting. But I think that ultimately we can all, the sort of best solution, because it is a temporary situation, is just for Megan to continue to sort of point it out in the narrative of
yeah.
her report.
Yeah, and I guess the most important control factor is the monthly expenses. Because if the monthly expenses were below average, then
Yeah.
obviously we're fine.
Yeah.
And the other factor, of course, is the operating account.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the one thing that I do understand that we're taking all, when we we put out money on the capital project, none of it's coming out of the dime account.
No, it's coming out of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Connect One account.
So that's another way that we, as trustees, I mean, if we wanted to look quickly at this, the other way we could look at it is that number 1,790,320,312
Mhm.
is clearly enough money to fund the budget.
Yeah.
Assuming the months are at their appropriate level for the rest of the year. So that would be, okay. Okay, well, that's fine.
I understand what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying, like, I get it, it's just, unfortunately, when there's like. Just when there's a building project like this,
Oh, yeah.
it just gums everything up.
There's no problem. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any problem. And I think if we start down that road of taking out
Mhm.
certain expenses, I think it establishes a bad precedent
Mhm.
for us, because then we can say in the future, well, let's just take out this or take out that, because
Yeah.
it makes it look more sanitized or more
Yeah.
acceptable.
Well, now I'm assuming that when we get to the end of the year and we're doing our reconciliation of the entire
All this
budget,
is everything.
everything is gonna become clear because all the capital, we'll be showing all the money that went into the budget for capital
Yes.
improvements. And therefore, we will be able to show that the budget was balanced from an operational point of view.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
so, and that's why we do the audit every year, and like, really. These reports are supposed to, give you a decent, like a solid picture of what you're looking at, but really at the end of the year, those. Financial statements that Al provides are the ones where he goes through a fine tooth comb. And says, like, really, this was capital, this wasn't, we still, he. Puts it where it's supposed to be for generally accepted accounting principles and Gadsby 45, which is
Yeah.
what we are required to follow.
Okay, great. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Can I hear a motion to approve the financial reports, and the warrant, payrolls and so forth?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Okay, so all those reports are approved. Thank you, Kelly, for handling that. And
So,
now it's your time for your phone report.
I do want to pause for a minute. We do have a member of public with us,
Oh.
who's not Wanda. This is Lori. She is potentially a candidate for Board of Trustees. She picked up a
Welcome.
petition, so.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Lori Gibbs. Nice to meet you.
Um.
Oh.
well, This is our world.
Man down.
Man down. The next project will be replacing the IT in the program room, once we get through the HVAC. Can you tell? Let me just get to my report. How much you might, okay, so, so. Everything is construction, so, construction began with a flurry and now it feels like we're doing nothing. It feels like we're waiting for cement to dry. That is because we are. I am very excited to report that at 7 a.m. on Monday, August 25th, we will be closing Union Street and part of Main Street. The crane will be put in place and they will be placing the equipment on the cement pad.
How'd you manage that?
I'm charming. No. No, the village has been incredibly willing and wonderful to work with us. They know that we want to minimize disruption and move as quickly as possible. They want us to minimize disruption and move as quickly as possible. And so Monday just is a light commute day. We are, considered, quasi-governmental agency, so we can do things sometimes outside of the rules. They just said, this works better for everyone if we let you do this. Are you okay with it?
What
Yeah,
time?
we are, 7 a.m.
Are you gonna film this?
I guess I can. I will be here.
I'm gonna be away, so I would like to
I'll
see.
film it with my
Can you
phone.
live stream it?
Can I live stream it?
Oh, I'll watch it while I'm getting my breakfast while I'm away.
You know what? If perhaps.
Well, I
Put it on
definitely
your
think we should at least
TikTok.
get
Well,
a snippet of it
We'll
for
be here, so
TikTok.
we'll
whatever.
get some social media for it. Am I gonna FaceTime Dan while he eats a cereal? No. But I will make sure we have footage of it. That's why I will be here. So we're excited about that. We have a very lovely storage unit at Prime Storage in Bridgehampton. One of the things we had to do was empty the mechanical room of all things that aren't supposed to be in the mechanical room anyway. And we use that as an opportunity to empty the things that are also in the other closets that aren't supposed to have stuff in them anyway. And the folks at Belfour got us a box truck and a couple of guys and did all of the moving, which was great. And they did a beautiful job packing our storage unit. I was very impressed when I went down and looked. So we're excited about that. August Heath made it thus the place to be to stay cool, even, with the AC that we have sort of limping along. I'm still waiting on the quote for temporary AC for the month of September. That being said, not that I'm wishing summer to go away, but I am enjoying these cooler days. Because I just keep going back and forth, like maybe we can punt this and not have to do temporary AC. We will definitely have to put it in the archives though. I'm very excited. This is my favorite thing in my report. Our Battle of the Books team came in 8th place,
Awesome.
which is the best that they've done in a very long time.
Out of how many?
But
Out of how many?
out of 28 or 30.
Oh, that's good.
So we're usually, like bottom third. So it's really exciting to be in the top 10. And so it's very funny. Randall was like, they want sushi from Sen to celebrate. And I was like, I will buy them sushi. And then they were like, well, except for Ollie, he wants to know why we can't have lobster. So I said, well, yeah, the top 3, I'll buy you a lobster. Our adult book clubs are thriving. They're picking up. Our Spicy Book Club was rebranded to the New Romantics, and it's at Barron's Cove. And so we've had increased attendance at that, and it's a nice vibe, for lack of a better
Oh,
term.
that's the graphic novel book club. It's Kid Squid.
Kid graphic novel is at Kid Squid, yeah. Let's see, what else? We did a pop-up program with Bon Bon. They have this whole Pippi Longstocking thing that they're doing. So they had one of their people dress up as Pippi Longstocking and read Pippi in the garden, which was great. We also did a movie in the park. We do story time in North Haven. So we're very excited that we're out in the community. A reminder again, the Ann Lieber Herb Garden ribbon cutting is Thursday, August 28th at 3 p.m. Our bike repair station is installed.
Ooh, check that out.
I think somebody even used it the other day. We opted for not just the repair station with the benches, but also the air pump, so you can fill your
Oh,
tires.
nice, that's good.
So I'm just looking for like a nice little sign from Etsy that says like bikes this way. But people seem to be getting the hint that like, oh, there's bike racks there now. It's up
Back here.
for bike racks
Oh, yeah.
at the top. Let's see what else. We received feedback on our SLI application, looking for additional supporting evidence. And so that's a normal part of the process. Anthony put together more evidence and sent it back, for a second review. So
How
they're
close are we getting?
pretty close, I think by the end of the year.
What is
Yeah.
SLI again?
Terrific.
SLI is the Sustainable Libraries
We'll
We'll
Initiative.
break the box.
The
ticking.
boxes that.
You know, there's really, it's ticking boxes, but they want to make sure that like we're really not just ticking boxes, we're living the sustainable life, which is important, and we are. The newsletter should be out relatively soon. We thought it was coming yesterday, but it didn't. And it got a little nip tuck, so stay tuned. And then I went to a bunch of meetings. Let's see what else. Statistics. What's interesting is we're definitely up from June, which we expected. But we're definitely down compared to 2024. Significantly. I don't have an answer for that. We're not doing anything any differently. Anecdotally, what I've noticed when we've sort of discussed this with the staff is we feel like the people who come in are staying longer. So maybe it's just a little bit of how people are using the library is differently. I mean, I could go back and also look at whatever the weather was last year, if it was a particularly rainy summer, that could speak to it. We've sort of been blessed with great weather this year,
Maybe
so
ebooks are up for.
ebooks, I mean, ebooks are,
I'm just saying any of that type of thing.
Yeah. ebooks are up, you know. Not much, I mean, like by 250 items, compared to last year, by, 600 items compared to the year before. So, I mean,
I'm curious, when you go to different meetings and have discussions with other directors, are they experiencing the same thing? Cause I'm looking at 2023. We're 1,000 down from that to 2024, and then 1,000 down.
Yeah.
From that to 2025. Is this sort of like
it is.
a trend?
It is a trend,
Mhm.
in terms of circulation of physical materials. We've been trending down for years, and that's, local, state, national.
Yeah,
In terms of busyness in the building. East End libraries are usually too busy. We don't meet on the during the summer months, so I'll have a better answer for that in September.
uh-huh.
I would say it depends on the library and the area and what its patrons generally use its library for.
Mhm.
I can say historically, we always see fewer of our predominantly Spanish-speaking patrons in the summer because they're working and they're not coming in for our ESL classes.
Mhm.
So that definitely shows a reduction of
But
people
that
at the
would
door.
impact from year to year.
Yeah.
That would impact from January
January,
to.
yeah.
To June, but.
I would also, I anecdotally, amongst libraries, by virtue of everything that is going on with immigration and ICE, we are seeing a reduction in use of our libraries by our native Spanish speaking patrons overall.
Mhm.
So that could also be part of it. We did see a similar dip in libraries in 2016. So again, last I spoke with Araceli, she had mentioned that she knew of a lot of people who have relocated out of the area as well, who were
Mhm.
library users. So that could be it too.
We didn't change our counter, where the counter wasn't adjusted.
We did also change our counter, so this is the first summer with the new counter, it could also be, you know. The door counter, whether it was malfunctioning last year or over, you know, like, we did have a change in our door
Cause I
counter.
remember you mentioned that at some
Yeah.
point within the last year, that there was some. You know, problem with the counting.
Um. This is gonna kill me slowly, it's like its own little dance party, so that could be part of it too, you know, and I think you also. I think we were talking about it earlier, the. Traffic in Sag Harbor is
Yeah.
probably the worst, this is the worst summer I think it's ever been,
Or the best, depending.
or the best,
or
you know,
shopkeeper.
yeah.
They can't find a place to get parked.
Yeah. I mean, I'm parked, well, no, because I moved my car because I went to the storage unit today, but, you know, I was parked on Palmer Terrace today, and that was at, you know, just before 10 o'clock this morning, so. If people can't get parking near the library, they're not coming to the library, so. That could be part of the problem too. Not everybody lives within walking distance.
When you're looking at your statistics and this whole thing, is there an overall number, like if you combine? Several of these different subcategories that you could say, or usage is up or usage is down. You know, I mean, just
You know, I think what we're.
anecdotally, I'm just wondering if you're getting a sense that. There is less library usage on, whether it's actually people coming through the door. or-
I would say my feeling is this summer as compared to last summer. I feel like we're not as busy and that's supported by the statistics, but we're consistently busy, like. All of the chairs have butts in them, but it's generally the same butt all day long, if that makes sense.
What do you attribute, like the website visits are down by more than half?
You know, I think people, don't necessarily go to a website for information quickly anymore, they're gonna check. Social media first, so they're gonna say, oh, I saw that program on Instagram, or I saw it on, maybe not Facebook as much. You know, they're gonna get the information that they're looking from the e-blast. I just don't think people necessarily go straight to the website for information anymore. We also in 2023, I don't remember in 2024, but we used to have all the computers in the building set to open straight to the library's homepage, which sort of fluffs up the statistic. When people are logging in to use the computer. The way the Google environment works now, like you kind of have your own Google profile, so when people log on to their computers, they're going right into their Google rather than going to the library website and then into.
So then that doesn't count.
So then
Not
that's not
count, but
getting
yeah.
those clicks.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
But some of your attendances really took a jump, like your teen program.
Yeah.
attendance, You know, more than double.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, right? Like, we know that we're consistently busy with the people who are using the library, like, there's always somebody in here from open to close. It does feel like less, I don't wanna say less frenetic, but less, people, you know, like coming in, staying for a little bit of time and then going. But, you know, that could be traffic and parking, it could be you know, different people are summering out here than some of the people who have always summered out here, it could be.
So is there
Any number of
anything that leads you to believe that we might need a tweak here and there, or is it just, we just keep an eye on the numbers and then make a?
You know, I think we look at the August numbers, see where we're at. I feel like we've been consistently busier in August than we were in July. And then, you know, at the end of summer, we sit down with the departments and we say, hey, what did we feel like we saw? What did we think was successful? What didn't we think was successful? You know, we thought we'd have a ton of people for the movie at MASH Park with the inflatable screen. We had 8 people. So it's one of those things that like,
Feel like gotta advertise well.
What time was it?
it had to be, it has night, so it was late, so it was like 8 to 10.
There's so many
Because they have to wait for the
variables
sun
there,
to
you
set.
know?
It's also so many competing activities.
Right.
And so that's
You don't
sort
know
of
what's
the other
happening, the
problem.
weather or this like that, or this one's
You
having.
wanna take it back.
It's camp, right? So we have, you know, like Bay Street has, everybody has camp.
Yeah.
So I really do think some of it is, and it'll be a more interesting conversation to have once I have the opportunity to sort of see what my colleagues were seeing. Is what else is going on? Like what else is competing with us, for what we're doing? And maybe some of it is just, we need to shake up our programs, maybe color our world, it's not an exciting enough summer theme. Although it was everybody's summer theme, you know, I think we've even seen less people come in for the library tour this year, which has always been pretty popular, in
So I
Suffolk
can't
County.
blame them. Who's gonna drive here? You can't get here.
Yeah,
And
you're
maybe
right.
timing, you know, like I remember when my kids were in elementary school, Diane, maybe you remember this, when they would do movies on the Pearson Hill,
Mhm.
it was packed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this was during the school year.
Yeah.
So maybe that is a time that, you know,
Yeah.
it's a smaller draw because it's only the people who live here,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll be more engaged because there's not a ton of other things
Yeah.
going on.
Well, that's a more
Um,
central
I think you're-
location too, it's easier, I think, for.
And you can do it a little
Yeah.
earlier if you're doing it during the school year, you could start at 7:30, you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
close to like 8:30.
It's hard to
I
get it-
tried to do an outdoor movie at my house. And it's impossible to set it up until it's dark,
Yes,
and then you're struggling in the dark to set it up.
yes,
Yeah, you mean just because of the sun?
Yeah, I can't,
Yeah.
I put a
Yeah.
table out in my yard, and propped it up, can't see anything, I have no idea what it looks like.
yeah. Well, we actually, so the inflatable screen comes from the Suffolk Cooperative Library System Lending Library. And so they send out like a whole team that comes out and inflates it,
Sure.
sets it up, and they're here early before the sun
And
sets.
did you have like vendors or foods or?
No,
that
the park doesn't,
Oh, doesn't allow that.
yeah, they don't allow that.
Trucks in there.
I was just gonna say, if you had a bartender there, you'd have. full party.
Oh, this
Again,
is
it's the park.
like what happened on the hill,
Yeah.
because like I remember him in late September, maybe October, and it was kind of like bring blankets, and it was like very cozy and nice,
Yeah.
and there were tons of kids who went to it. I
It
just
was a
think
no
it,
community.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
they,
tossing something like this out in the park, it's to an unknown community.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Makes a
also do,
difference.
yeah.
you know, they do them on the North Fork as well, and the attendance is, is spotty.
Well, you know, when we
and
did at least, they probably made an announcement at morning program. Or something like that, and the kids got excited, oh, you going, we're going.
It addresses a finite community, the school, and the
Yeah.
school does stuff, they always have.
All right. So
They
it's
have
just-
big crowds.
So, but what was
Right.
interesting is, the folks from SCLS said that the outdoor movie tanked at every East End library.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, outdoor movie season is very short, right?
Right.
Because then it starts to get cold and, you know, people pick rain dates and it's one screen for like 56 libraries across Suffolk County, so you gotta like get your weekend. But, they said every single one they did out east tanked.
But-
Well, was the choice of movies not?
I don't
really
think it was the
popular?
choice of movie, I
Well,
really
what
do
about
think,
The Up Island ones, were they successful?
yes.
And
But you gotta remember, like, we have a service population of like 9,000, like
Yeah.
Sachem has a service population of like 90,000, right? So Sachem's always gonna have a crowd because it's just the population is different.
And we have ticks and mosquitoes here.
And that's the other thing.
And who's gonna take their kid to a park, you know.
I mean, somebody
Saturday
did say that when they were like, we're doing a movie in the park, and they were like, where my child can sit in the grass and get ticks and mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And we were like, yes, it's gonna be super.
But you know, in the summer, it's light out later, people are at the beaches, you
Yeah.
know, they're doing everything
When
but,
it's dark, I think the kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe timing was an issue for that, but.
Well,
And that also may, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but like. Lots of people have outdoor theaters now, right? Like,
Yeah.
one of our most popular circulating items is our little outdoor projector.
was that right?
Yeah, we have a little outdoor projector. You project it on the side of your,
Oh, you don't.
White House.
That's actually,
Um,
that's a good idea.
yeah, so I mean, there's
Yeah.
that
Have
too.
drinks.
Do
Yeah,
it at home, have drinks.
Yeah. yes,
That's-
exactly.
that's-
Protect your truck.
I like that idea.
So,
Do the staff see the statistics?
Yes,
It's
they
something that
compile
you
them.
discuss
Yeah.
and.
Yeah.
So when you kind of brainstorm at the end of the summer with your team,
Mhm.
can you like kind of discuss with us what everyone's sort of.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure,
idea and how to make it better and how not to continue this.
Yeah.
Sort of,
sure.
you know. Okay, and maybe it's something that we can then address a little more in the outreach,
Mhm.
if that's appropriate.
Sure. Okay. So, we can discuss any of the specifics in the personnel report when we go into executive session, but we do need a. Approval of personnel report. Which is not
Oh.
included there, you all should have read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to
Perfect.
approve the personnel
I'll
report.
second motion to approve the personnel report.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So we've approved it,
Okay.
and we can ask questions later. if
Yes.
We need to, any such as that. Okay. Great. Committee reports. We have any committees that met in the last month?
No, but I would like buildings and grounds to meet so that we all get, so we get sort of.
You didn't meet yesterday or Monday?
We can meet at
9
7 AM.
No, no one was there at 9 o'clock on Monday.
I was there.
I would like to meet so that we can sort of touch base and besides HVAC, just beyond that work with what we need to work on.
Okay.
Personnel met,
Personnel method jumping.
yes,
Don't
but
jump.
that'll be, I guess,
Yeah.
later in the,
All right.
the agenda.
Apologize.
It's okay.
Finance, contracts and legal did kind of meet after personnel met.
Yeah, we did.
Yes,
Yeah, we had
We
a
did.
joint meeting.
and that will be part of new business with the
It would be HVAC.
The HVAC, yeah, I mean, I think that at this
HVAC
point,
and also the
Personnel,
no,
schedule of
the
values.
bonds.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
yeah, well, I mean, we have all these approvals that we have to do, all these legal documents, all the contractual things and so forth.
Right,
But they're all in the packet for tonight, right?
yes,
So we can talk about that as a group.
sure.
Policy,
Policy did
No,
not
we didn't,
meet
we got
because,
canceled.
because all the policies make me cry.
all
But I'm working on them.
outreach,
We did not meet.
But they do need to meet because we did get an application for the scholarship.
yay, okay. So you can plan a meeting.
Sure,
Yeah.
whenever.
I think Anna said Wednesdays is the day, no, Mondays is the day she's available. Do Mondays work for
Yeah.
either of you?
9 o'clock in the morning.
Mondays
Not,
are
not,
good. No, no.
9 o'clock in the morning. Is there Monday evenings, Monday mornings, Monday midday?
Monday midday is good for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually my
Probably
mornings,
that's okay.
I'm busy.
Okay, so I will, send an email out with a couple of times. Do you, Monday, the 28th? Do you,
Sure.
or the 25th, whatever?
Wait, so next week on Monday?
Next Monday.
Yeah, that's fine for me.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
What time?
Midday,
That's
like
the
1
25th.
PM.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure I don't have anything else to. I like to schedule meetings when I already have meetings. Okay, so if we do that Monday at 1 p.m., I'll just make sure Anna is, or Anna is available. Okay, so let's just put that tentatively in our calendar. Okay. And then. Buildings and ground, who's on buildings and grounds?
I think I'm on buildings
Michael.
and
I
ground.
think you are too.
Yeah,
Dan,
I am as well.
Lisa, Ellie, okay,
It
so,
doesn't have to be a long meeting. I just think there's a number of projects that are happening concurrently or shortly after that it's while we're all sort of on the same page.
so let me do this. What I am waiting for is one of the we have to pick a landscaper for the project. I'm waiting, I just met with, one of the potential vendors yesterday,
The
to
door.
update their quote, because all the other quotes had, potential removal of stuff that is there and other stuff that they didn't have. So I asked them to come back out and just update their quote based upon what's happening over there right now. So I'm waiting for that to come back. So once I have that back, Buildings and Grounds should meet about that.
The door.
The door, which I'm waiting on an updated quote for as well.
So it doesn't have to happen soon, but
Yeah.
before the next meeting,
Before the next
Mid-
meeting.
early September.
Okay, perfect. Then that brings us to the park.
So the park board is a couple things. Number one, this woman, Jennifer Glass, put in a proposal and built a little tiny little fairy house and put it on the Greenbelt Trail with, I can show you pictures later. And so you go there and there's a little log book in there and kids can write notes or people can write notes and the fairy writes back to them. With the idea being that eventually there'll be a book written about this fairy. His name is Thistlebottom. Little sign, a little house. So if you walk the Greenbelt Trail of the park, you'll see it's just after the bridge. That was one of the, so Jennifer Glass had put in this proposal and the park let her do it, so she went out with her suffering husband to walk the trail and put this thing in there.
Was he hungry?
He was not hangry, but he was buggy. The other thing is that they're starting the tennis, the school tennis is starting over there, so they were working out the timing on, the courts for the, practices and for games. And, I don't think there was much else. I don't remember, to be honest. I forgot my paper today. Sorry.
Pre-season,
I think
probably.
Thistlebottom is the best part of
I,
that.
oh, and Thistlebottom also has an Instagram. But remind me at the end, of the executive session, I'll show you Bob's house. Show some massive.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay, so I guess we're at old business.
Okay. So the HVAC update, I kind of went through it with my, my director's report, because that's really what we've been focused on. So again, Monday morning, if you wanna, bring me a cup of coffee, and watch the crane work, we have that going on. We've been working with, everybody's just been working really well together to get done what needs to get done. Once the
Your
unit
face
is
up.
set, sort of the next steps are, core drilling to the building, because we have all sorts of things we need to connect into the mechanical closet downstairs. It's actually going to be 6 holes of varying widths. So core drilling will happen. Once the core drilling happens, they can go ahead and complete the backfilling. Once the backfilling is completed, then we can start putting fence. So it's really we can't really move until we get that unit dropped. And then also we'll start having construction going on inside. So they're gonna start demolishing the mechanical equipment that is in the mechanical closet. So they've got to take out the heat pumps that are there, in there, making sure that they're careful not to destroy any of the the live, brains of the system, the BMS, all of those sensors, you know, need to be carefully removed because they're going to be carefully put back. And so what they're gonna do is they're gonna stage a lot of stuff, here. And then all of them, they're gonna basically come through the program room. They're gonna put down RAM board and, you know, like, which is like hard chart, for lack of a better word, if you don't know what RAM board is, so that they're not ruining the floor. And then they're also actually going to create a zip, like a plastic zip wall, so that,
So the library can stay open during this?
they said that there's pretty much zero reason for the library to have to close for any of this project. There's not gonna be any point in time where they have to do like a full electrical shutdown or a full plumbing shutdown that they anticipate. So really, they can work while we are open. We are reducing some of our programs and the types of programs that we're having. So like, we usually do a fall parent-child workshop. But we don't want babies crawling on the RAM board and the floor
Do you
during that.
anticipate them working any hours that the library is not open?
You know, working inside is different than working outside, so I'm sure that they will want to get in here first thing in the morning when they can, when they're doing work inside. So I would imagine they'll probably move to more of like a 7 to 3. When they're doing the work inside, because they're not disrupting anybody, you
Sure.
know. Like when they're, you know, pouring concrete outside.
The minutes.
You know, Richard's here at 5:30, every day but Wednesday. You know, I've been coming in when they've been here, which has been fun. Guys, do you know that the sun doesn't come up when I do? So, that's been a shocker. So, you know, we'll make sure that there's somebody here and we can make sure they can get in and out without a problem.
I have a question. I don't know if this was discussed at some time previously. What's happening with the wells?
The wells, so the wells will be, abandoned, and when we say abandoned, that doesn't mean we just never speak of them again. We will
It's
follow
an
the.
expensive process to abandon it.
It is, so basically what happens is,
They're shunned.
our friends from Delta Well will come in and do all of the things the DEC, requires them to do to abandon the well, which is sort of cap it and fill it, and then, that's
Wanna
the
put
end
some
of that.
mementos in there before they?
No.
Time capsules?
Yeah, they could make it.
Time capsule.
We can put some people in there.
Yeah. How do we know there aren't people in
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't here for the original construction project. I don't know what's in those wells. So.
Maybe that's where the biogel is coming from.
it
All
might-
right, it's the people that are down it.
I feel like I always have to mention that these meetings are recorded and posted on the internet forever.
Good.
So,
Michael part of that.
yeah, so that's really where we're at, you know, and. Like I said, we're sort of waiting on, the vote for the temporary HVAC.
So you'll get shots from up on the roof. From across the street in the tree, you know.
Maybe.
All these different things. As the air conditioning is posted overhead, you'll
It
get.
gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about that room.
It's going up over, so the crane is gonna be on Main Street and it's gonna go up over that tree.
That's really cool.
Because of
That's really
the,
cool.
the wires on Union, so. It's gonna be interesting.
Are they closing Maine?
They are closing Maine, they're closing Maine and part of Maine and part of Union.
Oh.
And they had to get flaggers.
I mean, just to see that.
It is.
Lay down right on Main Street.
We didn't tell you, I thought I got your
Nah,
orange
just-
vet size, Michael.
There you
You're
go.
not closing the
There,
road?
baby.
They'll still go down Sage Street in that way. So-
Oh, they will.
So it's not like they're gonna, Main Street will be decimated, just a little section over here.
So that's that until we talk about the schedule of values and paying people. With the HVAC update.
Good job.
let's do the budget then.
Sure. So with the budget, as you know, we already approved the budget at the last meeting, so that we could get that information into the public notices and the newsletter. But, the state comptroller runs a very strict office. And so the rule is you're not allowed to approve your budget until after you submit your tax cap form. So we've submitted our tax cap form, so we have to approve our.
I make a motion to approve our budget.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have approved it.
All right, thank you.
It's easy.
Alright.
Good job, Kelly.
All right, are we ready for controls?
Are we ever ready for controls?
I'm always ready for controls. As a reminder, the controls fall outside of the scope of the HVAC project. We are using ACS, who is the company that installed the OG controls when they did the project, which was completed in 2016. And so Scott came out, we had a very nice chit chat. He did lots of measurements, looked at all the plans, said this is what you're gonna need, which is outlined in this here. Foley looked at it, Patrick looked at it, from Lizardo's, they had no issues. The one thing we are, getting information back on, and we're waiting on that, but it shouldn't prevent us, is, you'll see when you get to that last page of the quote, you have the base price, which is 43,000 and change, with one add alternate. And so there is a question of whether or not the work in that add alternate one actually falls under the scope of work, that Train is required to do. So it falls under the project by virtue of it being startup related. Or if that is something that they actually need ACS to do. So ACS, instead of holding us up, because he knew we had this meeting, and we need to move forward with this, he said, I'm gonna quote it with what the price is. And I'm basically gonna tell you what the change order is gonna cost in case he has to come back to us. So I mean, I'm comfortable with this proposal. This is definitely a third of the cost of what it would be to rip everything out and replace it. Also included in this is, which was something we had to do anyway, so I asked him to include it, is an upgrade of the supervisor software and an upgrade of the server.
Where does that stuff go?
The workstation stuff,
Yeah,
it's actually in the IT office on the second floor.
okay. So we need to make a motion
Yeah.
to approve this?
Mhm.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain.
Oh, okay,
I have to abstain.
one abstention.
Bigger.
Okay,
and
but
bigger,
but we have an approval, so we can get on
Yes,
to
'cause we
the
have
next one.
yeah.
Got a bunch of these.
Okay, so
Oh,
the schedule of values. So I mean, I think I sort of sent this to you in an email, but I will go over it all with you again. This is something you see on major construction projects. It's also something you would see on civil service projects like this as well. This is the schedule of values. We have to approve it. Patrick at Lizardo's approves it. And basically what it says is, this is the value of each portion of this project. And as the project gets done, so for example, the excavating is 90% done. The subcontractor for the excavating company then puts in his invoice to Belfour, says, I've completed this much work, I would like to get paid for this much work. And then Belfour says, okay, and then Macaulay, our consultant, looks at it, Patrick signs off on it, like, yes, this is done. You know, we go a little bit back and forth, so for example, the cement guy said like, I'm 100% done, and they were like, well, you still have that bit to backfill, so we're gonna pay you 90%, we're not gonna pay you 100%, right? So there's that little back and forth that goes on, before it is approved by, our engineer, which is Lizardos. And then ultimately approved for the library, by the library for payments. So we need to approve the schedule of values, which is this first document, and then we can sort of move on to the other documents.
Yeah, I thought this was very informative piece, the way it's laid out. So I'm very happy with it. Can I have a motion on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the schedule of values.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention?
I abstain.
We have one abstention, and otherwise we.
So, okay. So also we do also have our first change order. Generally speaking, when we have a change order, if it's a big change order, it needs to be approved by buildings and grounds or the board.
Mhm.
This one was for $1,400 so that they could move the stuff out of the closet. In the interest of keeping the project moving forward, I went ahead and said, go ahead and do it. I will get it approved, nunc pro tunc, if you will. You like that?
Ah,
You're welcome. The horse is already out of the barn on that one, so I.
okay. Well, we might as well get a motion then.
Yeah, you exceeded
I'll
your
make a motion
executive
to-
authority.
I'll make a motion to approve the change order.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
no abstentions.
Okay, perfect.
All right, and so the last one we have, is our first payment. So we're gonna do this monthly going forward at the board meeting. I've already spoken with Belfour and I said, we gotta get these done by the Friday before the board meeting so that we can get everybody paid. It was just by virtue of how the schedule was working this one time. It's about $78,000 and change, mostly for the site work. When you looked at it in your board packets, it might have looked, oh no, it wasn't in your board packets. When I sent it to you, Patrick's signature should have been on it. When I put it in the board packet, Patrick's signature does not transfer because the PDF removes the electronic signatures. So, I guess, so we can't just take Patrick's signature and
Put it on stuff.
put it on everything. Again,
printed
you
out.
know, I feel confident that the work that they said has been done. Our engineer feels confident, and I would recommend that we pay it.
Does the requisition include itemized items as to each of the different trades?
Yes, it should. So,
And by chance, can you just tell me if it includes an ACS and or Mahoney?
no, neither,
Okay,
both of those fall out of scope of Belfour's project.
okay. All right, then I move to approve the requisition.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye,
Any opposed? So we've approved that. And you're saying that this will, on a monthly basis, the expense to get summarized the charges, we'll approve them, and then they'll get paid
Mhm.
kind of immediately after a board meeting.
Yeah,
So that kind of also tells us how the money's gonna flow out.
It
It's gonna
does,
flow out
yes.
on kind of a
it's
monthly basis.
gonna float out
Happens to
monthly.
me, Which is great.
Yeah, and so, because we also are moving money into that, capital account.
Yep.
And we're waiting for the check from Gene Hill to clear, we're waiting for the money to hit our account from the T-note that matured. I didn't cut the check, but we'll cut, and Megan's out of town, so I figured we'll cut the check Monday, I'll have Megan sign it, I'll have you sign it. And then we'll send it on its way.
Great.
Okay, vision, so vision benefits, something we had discussed in, personnel, was adding a vision benefit. It also came up when we were discussing and putting together the, 2026, fiscal year proposed budget, which we're putting in front of our taxpayers in September. The vision benefit is relatively inexpensive. I included the information here as I had shared with, I think, finance when we were discussing budgeting, but then also, the personnel committee. Because, the group that we belong to, where we share, dental and vision benefits moved from MetLife to Guardian. The cost for us to offer, dental and vision is actually less, than what it would cost us if we had renewed with MetLife. So when we put the budget together, we did see a reduction in health benefits. But we
Cost of
are
health.
also, but the cost of health benefits, but we are actually able to provide an additional benefit, which is really nice. So much like we did last year when we approved dental for the next fiscal year, the personnel committee, as discussed in personnel, hopefully will make a recommendation that we add vision to the library staff benefits, pending the approval of the 2026 budget.
And I believe that was the consensus that we all unanimously, we strongly approved.
Yeah.
So we have to vote on that.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept adding vision benefit to the 2026 budget.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So that is approved.
Beautiful.
That is approved. So that brings us to our second period up for public expression. So again, welcome. Glad you could join us tonight. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I really appreciate how convivial and cooperative the meetings are and
Tonight.
the sense of humor about where the bodies might have. Oh, very good, thank you.
Okay, well, welcome. Welcome.
We'll just take a quick break before we go to executive sessions.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll go into executive session briefly.
Motion to come out of executive session.
I make a motion to come out of executive session at 7:27.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye. I make a motion at 7:27 to adjourn the meeting.
I have a second, that's it.
All in favor?
Aye.